Hey, welcome to the channel. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Today I'm going to change spark plugs on my 2015 Chevy Equinox. It's got the 2.4 four-cylinder Ecotec motor in it. Coming up to 90,000 miles on it. So I figured I'd go ahead and change out the plugs and video it, I guess. All right, so some of the tools needed here. Got a 3/8 ratchet with extension, 5/8 spark plug socket. I got a 1/4-inch ratchet extension. I got a 5/16 and a 10 mil. I got the brand new ACDelco OEM plugs. OEM plugs are the 41-108 ACDelco Iridiums. So I always like to put the factory stuff back in. Dielectric grease. So you open up the hood and basically you have to take off this air intake silencer box, I guess they call it. You got a 5/16 on the hose there, and then there's a 5/16 on the hose there, and then you just pull out this little vent tube thing here. So that's pulled off. Both of those are loosened. And then basically it's held on by these little rubber grommets, so it'll pull right off. All right, like I said, it pulls right off. Hose clamp, unplug this, just pulls out with the rubber grommet. And then the plastic just sits on these two little studs with little rubber boots. So next you're just gonna take the oil cap off. And then this section also just unplugs. All right, so now both plastic covers are off. Put the oil cap back on so nothing falls in there. And then now you'll see the 4 coil packs where the spark plugs are at. I'm gonna go ahead and take the air hose and blow out any debris here, get it nice and clean first. All right, using my air tool here, I went around and blew everything nice and clean. There's obviously always sand, dust, dirt, leaves, whatever. Got 4 plugs, 4 harnesses. You got these little tabs here, the gray / white part, whatever it is. It looks like more white. They just click back. Okay, so that's disengaged now. So with all 4 of these unclicked, then you just press the center green tab. And they pull right off. All right, all 4 harnesses are off. So now you got a 10mm bolt holding down each of the coil packs. I always take a ratchet to break stuff loose first before I use any type of electric or air tool. 10mm on a 1/4-inch ratchet with extension. Crack each one loose. All right, those are all loose. Just took my little gun here, just unloosened them the rest of the way. Go ahead and pull out each one, that way nothing ever falls. Set those to the side. Now the coil packs should just kind of pull right up and off. And then keep them in the same order. I always pull them off, keep them in, and put them back on the same exact order, no matter what vehicle I'm working on. And so all 4 coil packs are off. Now I'm going to blow these holes out just in case, and then crack the spark plugs loose. Pull those out. And here's the last one. Well, they don't look too bad, but so all 4 plugs come out. Notice the factory plugs, 41-108s, same ones that I'm going to put back in. I always put just a little bit of NICs on the threads of any new spark plug I put in. So I got all 4 of them here ready to go. Repeat the process, a little bit of NICs, thread them in, snug them down. All right, last one going in. Obviously, always start them by hand, thread them all the way in until you can't. And then they don't take much. So it's tight, and then just a little snug down. And the ACDelco 41-108 plugs, Iridiums, come pre-gapped from the factory, so you don't have to mess with the gap on those. All right, plugs are in, so now I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of dielectric grease in each of the boot here of the coil pack. Push each of those on. All right, last one. A little bit of grease in there. Remember, I'm putting them back in the same exact order they went. So 1, 2, 3. 4th one's going in. They just go basically straight in and on, and there's just a little bit of a tension push, and they're on. I go ahead and put the 4 bolts in, snug those down. All right, 4 bolts are in, and again, I like to always start everything hand tight, so everything threads, especially with all this new stuff that's aluminum. Aluminum's way easier to strip out. So those are all snug down by hand. They're all in by hand. I'm just going to take the 1/4-inch ratchet and just snug each one down. All right, those are down. Now the plugs, same way you take them off, you push them on initially, click, and then you push in the safety lock. So put the plug on, click, safety lock. Line the plug up, on, safety lock. And I'm pushing the plug in from the plug itself, because if you push from here, it's going to safety lock it ahead of time. So I'm pushing from behind the plug, click, and then safety lock. So that's all back in. Now just go ahead and put the reverse order, pull the oil cap back off, put the first plastic piece on. So again, take the oil cap off, set this down on it, kind of snake it in from the side so you don't overbend this. It's flexible, but it's not. It's like a hard plastic line. Snake it down and around. Once you center the oil cap, you'll feel it click, click. Just 2 little rubber grommets. Oil cap back on. Now we'll grab the airbox silencer. So on the bottom of those, I keep talking about the rubber grommets. These are what they look like. They're just little rubber grommets that the little stud with a little ball just kind of clicks and snaps right in those little rubber grommets. So I'm going to do the same thing with the airbox silencer. Get that set up. Going to basically center it on top of the throttle body and then push down the back after. All right, so like I said, set the go ahead and push the hose onto the throttle body. Line this hose up with the airbox. That sits this in here, and then you basically just feel it, and it pops right down in those rubber grommets. So now go ahead and take your 5/16, tighten up both of those hose clamps, and we are done. All right, both hose clamps, 5/16, are both snug down and tight. This has already been pushed down on the rubber grommets, and then just reinsert this hose. It just pushes and kind of clicks in with its own rubber grommet. All right, so that's how you change spark plugs on a GM Chevrolet GMC 2.4 liter Ecotec motor. I should have researched this, but I'm not sure how long the motor's been around. But the GMC Terrain, it's the same platform as the Equinox, so that would be the same setup for this same year vehicle. I want to say the 2.4 has been around for a while, but again, don't quote me on it. But they should all basically be about the same. All new vehicles nowadays have plastic stuff on top of the motors that you just unclip or pull off the rubber grommets to access the top of the motor and get to stuff like that. So if you found this video helpful, like it, subscribe, comment, and I think I'll do more out of the norm videos. Normally I do all off-road build stuff, but I got daily rides too. So I think I'll start videoing whatever I do, because it might help someone like you.